Welcome back, Rellism Sports Talk, episode 31. Today we're going to be talking about the Elite Eight, how crazy that was, the Final Four matchups now. The NFL going to 17-game schedule. What does that mean? What's that going to be like? We got to talk some NFL draft talk with all these QBs getting thrown everywhere. It's crazy, all these trades and all kinds of stuff. Them Dolphins, that was a hell of a trade they did. But we're going to see what these QBs, where we think they're going. We're going to talk about some UFC. We got a new heavyweight champion. Who's going to be next for him, though? We're going to talk about that. We can't leave out the women. We're going to talk about the women's Final Four. We're going to talk about that, who's doing what, how we think one of the Elite Eight games went. Then we're going to talk about some local university football that's playing in the spring in this area. I'm from Virginia, so we're going to talk about James Madison University, and then we're going to talk about some VMI Football, Virginia Military Institute. Wow. And then we're going to close it up with Major League Baseball opening day today and what we think about that. But of course, we're going to start off with that NCAA basketball, how crazy it was. I know I was on here talking about I couldn't wait to see USC. Hope they won so they could play Gonzaga. Just because, they talking about, Evan Mobley, whatever. Supposed to be the number 2 pick in the draft. And him and his brother. And they're long. And to be honest, I was watching them and I'm like, trying to build it up. But at the end of the day, Gonzaga is for real. I've been trying to hide it all year. I've been trying to deny it. I've been trying to say, oh, it's the same old Gonzaga. It's not. It's not your daddy's Gonzaga team no more. This is brand new Gonzaga basketball. They got stars on their team. They got personalities on their team. I mean, the dude that's the biggest media guy, the dude with the mustache. You know what I'm saying? He out here destroying mugs. That's in the time. He's destroying mugs. And he is what? The 3rd best player on the team? And he's popular than anybody. You know what I'm saying? Suggs, the point guard, is supposed to be maybe the number 1 pick in the draft, maybe number 2 pick in the draft, something like that. And the player of the year in the whole conference don't even get talked about. How crazy is that team? The player of the year, nobody even talk about him. That's how deep this team is. This is a squad. And in watching the game versus USC, it was like overmatched. And I was surprised. I was like, well, maybe USC will hang in there for the beginning. Nope. Gonzaga, the one thing about Gonzaga is, I know they play in maybe a lower whatever level of a conference that people might say, whatever, a mid-level conference. But they never play down to nobody. They destroy everybody. And even the non-conference teams that they play, they destroy them. I mean, who was the champions last year? Virginia? They destroyed them. And Kansas, who's always a powerhouse, destroyed them. It's crazy how bad this is. Like, some teams, whatever, they're superstars. Remember the UNLV teams back in the day? They always talk about Gonzaga be one of the best teams ever if they go undefeated. And people are trying to poo-poo, and people are trying to, well. I think it's just because it's Gonzaga, to tell you the truth. But if you really look at it, okay, the conference is what it is. But the outer conference, they're destroying people. It's like no close games, no one-possession games, no nothing like that. They're destroying them. So, I mean, that's another debate for another day. But, I don't know, man. Evan Mobley did this thing. He had 17, 5, and 3. But he had no threes. And they talk about him being like lottery pick, this and that. I can see what the potential they're talking about. But hey, man, in today's NBA, even though you're a stretch guy like that, what's it going to be, a stretch 4 probably? You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to pull up and hit the 3, son. You ain't made none. Your brother, on the other hand, made a couple, but he's not athletic like him. You know what I'm saying? So I look at him and I can tell he's going to be something. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. And maybe Tom's not going to be that guy in the NBA. You know what I mean? Like, maybe he's not. But, hey, as far as college goes, it's kind of like Christian Laettner. In the college game, he showed off. He showed out. And I couldn't stand him. Still don't like him. I don't even know why, but I still don't like him. But he's a college Hall of Famer, you know what I'm saying? So, Gonzaga, man, it's crazy. And then my heart breaks when I say this next one. I know Brandon, too, man. We were talking in the game. It's bullcrap, man. Michigan waited to the last game to play horrible. Like, they played, like, so weird, though. It just didn't even look like the same team, yo. The point guard played, I don't know if the other point guard for UCLA, I mean, he's super fast, too. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he took him out of his game, but he didn't look like the same player. Wagner didn't do crap. The freshman boy in the middle, they was bobbling the ball in the beginning. Like, they just seemed out of whack. And I feel like Brooks should have took the last few shots. He was the only one that stayed composed. He was the only one that was there. You know what I mean? I think Brooks should have been there. And I don't know why Juwan Howard designed that play for Wagner. I mean, he said that's the play he wanted. Really? I feel like you could have used him as a decoy and used Brooks. And it would have been a way better shot. Or the boy that looks like Tim Hardaway Jr. He looked just like Tim Hardaway Jr. The way he's shooting everything. As dark as he is and everything, yo. But whatever. UCLA, just like VCU from the first four to the final four. What can you say? I mean, I couldn't name somebody on their team before this all started. And the coach, I can't stand him. Because he started off in the Big East and he went to Cincinnati. And now he's at UCLA. And, hey, kudos to you, man. Kudos to you. You did your thing, Cronus. But the boy, that's the killer. He transferred from Kentucky. Who transfers from Kentucky? Now, granted, UCLA is a well-known basketball powerhouse. We know about UCLA, but UCLA ain't been UCLA in a long time. I mean, even when last time they were probably relevant was when Lonzo Ball was there. But even before that, what was it? Eddie O'Bannon and Tyus Edney and all them. Remember when Tyus Edney ran all the way down the court all fast? You know, they made that layup to win the game. And Eddie O'Bannon trying to sue the NCAA to get his rights and likeness, and so he can make some money and stuff. Because he ain't do nothing in the NBA to make no money. So he should have made it in college. That's why he's trying to do it. He's like, I can't make it to the next level. Let me try to get some bread down. You know that's what he was thinking. But I mean, UCLA is cool. I'm happy for the story. I'm happy for that. But you're going to get destroyed by Gonzaga. It would have been much better to see Michigan play them. And honestly, it kind of hurts. If something could hurt Gonzaga or give the argument that they're not one of the best teams ever, is because they keep playing these double-digit seeds, or they keep playing like, they're not playing like a 1 seed or 2 seed. They're not doing any of that. You know what I mean? So maybe that might be the one thing that hurts them. They keep having all these cake games. We saw Houston beat Oregon State. I didn't really have a dog in the fight with this one. I'm cool with Houston winning. Kelvin Sampson, coach. I followed him for a while. You know, he's been through some good times, some bad times. It's kind of cool to watch them. That guard, that guy, boy. Woo! He's a dog. He is a dog. But Oregon State, man, you wasn't even supposed to be in the tournament. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with that. I'm cool with whatever happened with that. You know what I mean? And then my Baylor Bears, that was my pick. Baylor Bears beat Arkansas. It was a good game, but Baylor they finished the game. Put it that way. So we looking at it. We got Gonzaga versus UCLA, and then we got Baylor versus Houston. And you know, I can't see none of these teams back next year. Maybe Gonzaga because they got another big recruit coming, and probably Baylor too. But I'll tell you what, Michigan Wolverines, Juwan Howard, he's starting something big there. He's starting something real big there. And I'm telling you, Michigan's going to be back for a while. You know what I'm saying? They have the #1 recruiting class coming in next year, Brandon. You hype, ain't you, baby? You hype. Jalen Rose is hype. I'm hype. I love them baggy shorts, bald heads, blacks. Let's go. That's how I started liking them, you know what I'm saying? That 5'4". Jalen was my dude, though. I mean, Chris Webber was the star, but Jalen was my dude. You know what I mean? Chris Webber was always kind of punky to me. And I'm glad he was a rival for the Lakers when he was the Sacramento Queens, because he was always a little punky to me. But Jalen was that dog. Sorry, we had to keep a ring from him too, Kobe. And sorry, Kobe had to put 81 on him too. But Jalen's my dude, though. Anyway. But you know who got the #10 recruiting class? Patrick Ewing and my Hoyas. Don't sleep, son. People think, oh, and you got all this turmoil or whatever. Look what happened. We had turmoil. People leaving, people going over here, doing all this, doing all that. And then what happens? We make a run and win the Big East tournament. Yeah, we lost in the first round of the tournament. We weren't even supposed to be there, though. But Patrick Ewing showed what he could do. And now we got the number 10 recruiting class coming in. For Georgetown, that's humongous. It's humongous. So, back to the Final Four. I think we all know we know Gonzaga's going to beat UCLA probably by 25. I mean, the line, they'll be respectful for the line and make it like 13, 14, but they're going to win by 25 or more. Come on, yo, you know. Baylor's a high-octane offense. Houston, remember what I said about Houston? I picked them to lose to Rutgers. And anybody knows and saw the game knows that they should have lost to Rutgers. Yeah, they should have lost to Rutgers. Rutgers choked. But I said it's those kind of games that can propel you to whatever. And here they are in the Final Four. Now, I hope that propelling ends now, because if I have to see a national championship game of Gonzaga versus Houston, I'm not even watching that. Nope. It's a blowout. We need to see the game that everybody thought it was going to be the game from the beginning of the year. Number 1 versus number 2 all year long, Gonzaga and Baylor. And really, Gonzaga needs this game to give some more credibility to their season. I mean, let's say Houston did win and Gonzaga, people are going to be like, I mean, you beat Houston. That's kind of what people were saying about the Lakers last year. They were like, I mean, you didn't have to play the Clippers. And I mean, you played Miami. I mean, as a Laker fan, I'm glad they won because of Kobe. Kobe passing away that same year. This year, I don't really care because I don't want LeBron to catch Kobe a ring. So, you know what I'm saying? The ring that he got on his finger for number 4 is really Kobe, if you think about it. So, I'm not sweating that. But yeah, Gonzaga needs Baylor to win. And they need to destroy Baylor in the championship game to give them any kind of shot at being like one of these best teams ever, in my opinion. Tell me what y'all think, but that's just what I'm thinking. But I'm going to tell you what. Gonzaga's had this easy road. They had the number 1 easy road from the beginning before they even games started playing. So when the game started playing, we saw these upsets. And Gonzaga's road got way easier. And they get more publicity. The mustache mug is getting all this publicity. All this publicity. Everybody's getting hyped. Hey, UNLV got hyped. UNLV was like, hey, this is what we doing. That's what we doing. And then Duke went out there and had some talent and won. Baylor's got some talent. And they got some dogs at the guard position too. So, hey, Baylor's battle tested. Baylor is battle tested. And, hey, I want to see it. And if anybody's going to beat Gonzaga, it's going to be Baylor. So, I think everybody wants to see that. Tell me what y'all think about it. I'll tell you what, the tournament's been awesome. I think it's been really awesome because there's been so many upsets, so many storylines, so many double-digit seeds winning. And you're getting to learn these players and learn these universities and learn all this stuff. But at the end of the day, we want the best to win. And if Gonzaga plays Baylor in the championship game, we get everything we wanted. We got upsets. We got mayhem. We got crazy talk. We got this. Know this guy. Know this guy. But at the end of the day, the champion is going to be the best. So this tournament's been pretty sweet. All right, next, NFL talk. NFL. I can believe it. Everything's about money. So they're going to cut a preseason game off. So from 4 to 3. And did you hear what Goodell tried to say? He said, well, most of the injuries come, during the preseason. And one of those games is in the regular. Just be for real with everybody. Stop playing these games. Talk about it. It's about money. Everything's about money. Especially after last year with COVID, how much money that people lost. Stop playing. Just say, we need to make some more money, yo. We got a new TV deal. We're trying to make some more money. So, 17 games. I know some of the players ain't happy with it. Whatever. You're making billions of money to play a game. I don't even want to hear it, yo. I don't want to hear it. I'm one of them type people, you know what I mean? So, and if they're keeping this, what they said was, the last game, the 17th game, you will play the team, like, here's an example. The Redskins, they won the East. NFC East, so they're number 1 team. They're going to play the number 1 team in the AFC East, which is Buffalo. If they do that for as the schedule, think about how awesome that would be every year. You would have the AFC East versus the NFC East battle, and then the second place team would battle, third place team would battle, and so on through all the divisions. That's how your last game would be. Think about the rivalries you can make up. Think about it. A lot of teams are either going to be first, second, third, or fourth, and rivalries will build. The more years build up on this, the more years will happen. And then if something were to happen where one of those rivalries met the Super Bowl, how big would that make it? You know, so I think that that's a huge thing. As long as they keep it that way, I think that's sweet, man. I think that could be sweet stuff going on as the last game. You know what I mean? So tell me what y'all think about that. Because, I mean, the way the schedule is now, you're playing this, and it's based on this and this, based on your record. But that last game is based on NFC East versus AFC East. NFC West versus AFC West. I love that, yo. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I hope they keep it like that. And it's an extra game of football, which means an extra week of fantasy football. Who doesn't love fantasy football extra week? You know what I mean? We get an extra week before the trade deadline. We get an extra week, you know what I'm saying, get ready for the playoffs. I mean, come on, man. More football is excellent football. And when XFL gets all their stuff going, I'll probably play some fantasy XFL too. XFL, CFL mix, whatever it's called. So, I'm all for it. I'm hyped. I'm happy. I can't wait. And it start this year. That's what's up. All right, so the draft. Who's going where? What's going on? We making trades. Everybody making trades. Who's going what? The one thing I am happy about is my Washington squad said Ryan Fitzpatrick will start the season in camp as the number one starter, but he will have competition for that, which tells me that we trying to get somebody else in there also. Thank the Lord. I mean, thank you, God, that we got a chance. Now, if it's somebody, it's Washington. It's probably going to be a bum. But anyway. All right, so the NFL draft. Everybody knows Trevor Lawrence, number one pick, Jacksonville. What Brandon say? What'd you say yesterday, Brandon? You said, I mean, I think he's good, but I don't think, he's on all that. And then I watched more tape on him and more stuff like that. And I'm like, he's dope, Brandon. But I mean, but the thing about it is you never know though, because there's so many quarterbacks in this draft, yo. So we got Trevor Lawrence will go to Jacksonville. Number 2 is the Jets. They didn't take the trade that the 49ers did. So they obviously have somebody in mind. And everybody's saying they're going to take Zach Wilson from BYU. They're saying they're going to take it. They said it's done deal. Zach Wilson's going to be there. Done. So if that's the case, Sam Darnold's got to go somewhere. And Washington will take him. We'll take him. At least he's young. We'll give him a new regime. I'll try. I'll take anybody young to try. Please. So hopefully maybe a Sam Darnold will fall in our lap. If not, check out these scenarios. We got the number 3 team, 49ers, did all this trading to get up there. And I'm thinking to myself, oh, they taking Justin Fields. They must just want Justin Fields, or they're going to take Trey Lance, who Brandon thinks might be the steal of the draft. He might, like the Mahomes type thing, he might be the one. I'm with you though. I think he's a wild card, man. He could be something special. So let's just say hypothetically, because they're saying that Mac Jones, who I thought was gonna fall to us, I didn't think he was that great. And I was like, oh, the Reds gonna take Mac Jones. Like earlier, Mox was saying it. I was like, great Mac Jones. But just all this build up and all these combines and everything, I'm sitting there like, are the 49ers really going to take him for the system or whatever? And if that happens, you got Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones as the first 3 picks. The 4th pick is Atlanta, who has Matt Ryan. But, hey, there's new GM and coaches. You're not their quarterback. They might actually take a quarterback there and then get rid of Matt Ryan the year after. I can see that possibly happening. And if that does happen, who does Atlanta take? Do they say, I'm taking Fields? He's a proven winner. Or do they roll the dice and say, I'm taking Trey Lance and let him sit a year under Matt Ryan? So if they do take one of them, the 5th pick is the Bengals. They're not taking the quarterback. The 6th pick is the Dolphins. You didn't think they was going to take a quarterback. But if Justin Fields or Trey Lance lands in their lap, do they say, hey? I mean, hey, might as well. They're right here now. So that's interesting. But if they being with Tua like they said, they're gonna get a stud offensive weapon. I mean, they're the top line of stud wide receivers, and then Pitts at tight end is unbelievable. So the Dolphins got a chance to get a stud receiver if they don't just mess with that quarterback situation. But if let's say they don't take a quarterback, then the number 7 team is the Lions. They're not going to take a quarterback. Then you got the Panthers at 8. The Panthers, they're obviously not sold on Bridgewater, and if that happens, you know they're taking Fields at 8. Here's the problem: the Patriots at 15, they're probably looking for a quarterback. Washington at 19, probably would like a quarterback. The Bears at 20, Pittsburgh at 24. I can see all 4 of those teams trying to make a deal to get to that number 5 spot for the Bengals. Just because they don't know what the Dolphins are going to do. Or they'll roll the dice and say, okay, we're going to try to get that number 7 pick ahead of the Panthers to get it. So I can see the Patriots, Washington, the Bears, or Pittsburgh jumping up to that number 7 pick to get whatever's left over between Fields and Trey Lance, which would be crazy. Crazy. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting, man. It's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, and don't forget, man, if I could get Kyle Trask in the second round, boy from Florida, I'll take him for the Redskins. Don't sleep on Ian Book from Notre Dame, Davis Mills from Stanford, later picks. I think all 3 of them can be something special. And what? Kellen Mond from Texas A&M. I mean, these are guys that you can get later on that might turn out to be a gem. So we'll see how it goes. It's going to be crazy. It's going to be crazy. I can't wait to the draft. It's going to be tense this year. UFC time. UFC. Ugannu. Drew. What'd I say? Ugannu knocked him out. And when I say Drew, check him out. Because I appreciate all the love you're doing for me, Drew. Put me out there. Y'all like some good lyrics and some good music. No, 540 Choppa. CHOPPA on SoundCloud. Check it out. That's my boy. Very talented. Yo, upstart dude. Let's go. Check him out. Check him out. But he was wrong about Ugannu. Ugannu won. And now they talking. And what I say about him, I say he's like Mike Tyson. Yo, he's a box office. He's scared as baddest man on the planet. So if they're taking over boxing with somebody like him, who's he gonna fight? It's a no-brainer. John Jones. John Jones. Then you're looking at big-time fights like, this would be like, you know, Tyson Holyfield, Tyson Lennox Lewis. You know what I mean? These big-time things with this big box office person. I think that fight will beat all McGregor's fights as far as box office goes. John Jones versus Ugannu, I want to see it badly. I want to see it. Women's Final Four. We got UConn versus Arizona, Stanford versus South Carolina. It's kind of like the men's draw. I like South Carolina. I'm a Dawn Staley fan. She went to UVA. I watched her when I was young. Dawn Staley was a dog, so I cheered for South Carolina. They got a tough game against another number 1 seed in Stanford. Kind of like Baylor. They had a tough game. While on the other side, the perennial favorite who gets everybody, UConn, has Arizona. I wonder what's going to happen in that game. But the thing about it is UConn shouldn't even be in the game because Baylor got screwed. That was a foul. Anybody that knows basketball knows that was a foul, and Baylor should be in the Final Four instead of UConn. But the money don't sit right. UConn got to be there. No, I think it was an honest miscall, but UConn gets breaks like that, man. UConn gets breaks like that. Maybe I look at it that way because I don't like them, don't like their coach, and I don't like the fact that they get always the number 1 player all the time. So, but that's just me being a hater. But I like to see South Carolina and UConn in the final. That'd be nice. But we'll see how it goes. All right, get into some spring football. Spring football, what's going on? Like I said, I'm from Virginia. So some local teams around my area. James Madison, undefeated. They traveled to Richmond this weekend. Both teams undefeated. And in the CAA, only 1 team can get a playoff spot with this whole new COVID thing or whatever's going on. So this is a big game. It's 3 of them that's undefeated, and 2 of them play against each other. So JMU plays Richmond, and I'm from Richmond, so, you know, big game, big game, big game. My son almost went to JMU, so that's kind of crazy. But the bigger story, in my opinion, is VMI. Yeah, Rick Hess, I said VMI. They're 5-0. for the first time since 1960. You know what I'm saying? They can win the Southern Conference for the first time since I was born, 1977. How crazy is that? That's how crazy it is. Yeah, my son had a scholarship offer from there too. Anyway, they can clinch the title this weekend if they beat East Tennessee State, and they would clinch the conference's playoff spot, automatic qualifying spot for the FCS playoffs. That would be crazy. And the way these playoffs match up, they're going to try to do teams that are kind of close to each other on the map. So suppose JMU played VMI in the playoffs. That'd be big time noise. I want to see it. VMI is ranked number 10 in FCS. They beat Western Carolina and Wofford for the first time ever in school history. They got a running back that was from one of the local high schools here. And then they got my boy Austin White, who's a dog on the defensive side of the ball. So proud of you, Austin. So happy for you, Austin. You doing your thing out there, man. So happy for you. He's a winner. Everywhere he goes, he wins. He won a state championship in high school after he left this area to go get it. But he went and got it because he's a dog like that. Then they got a wide receiver who leads the country in total receiving yards for teams playing in the spring. So they got some weapons. They recruited some players out there to be in mind, which ain't an easy thing to do. But the coach had a big coming to Jesus moment or something. I don't know. He changed his ways and his ideals of thinking. Whatever he did, man, congratulations to him. Congratulations to the program. Hope you keep it going. Don't blow it this weekend. Hope I didn't jinx you by giving y'all some love. And I want to see y'all play JMU in the playoffs. But if JMU don't make it, hey, whatever. You can go play Richmond. And we're going to finish with Major League Opening Day today. I was going to talk about some of the games, but I'm not because I'm bitter. I'm a Mets fan. Our game couldn't play because the Nats can't stop being on COVID. They got 3-4 players with COVID. But anyway, something that does make me happy is we signed Lindor to a $341 million 10-year deal. The Mets, they're one of the top 4 or 5 preseason picks to win the World Series. When's the last time you said that? The Mets, baby. So, you might hear a lot more baseball talk than you normally hear because usually I don't talk about a whole lot of it. I'll talk about the Yankees a little bit because that's my family's favorite team. But I'm a Mets fan. So we'll see if Lindor can do it, baby. But thank y'all for checking it out. I'm on the YouTube channel, all over podcasts. Don't forget about my boy 540 Chopper. Check me out. Spread the word. Come on, need some more subscriptions. Spread the word, baby. Join in on the debate. Leave some comments. Text me. Hit me up. Twitter. Something like that. Let's go. I want to talk about what y'all want to talk about. See you next time. Thanks.